Hey guys, my name is Cody and today we're going to be going through Australian Geographic's Eco Workshop, the Hydraulic Excavator. So first of all, let's open up the box and see what's inside. So we've got the tools and accessories box here, which includes all of these syringes, screws, and then all of the joints inside, as well as some pads for the bottom, as well as the screwdriver and some zip ties. We've got the pipes here. We've got the instructions here, which I'll be adding into this video. So whenever we're up to the next step on the instructions, I'll pop it up on the screen for each page. We've got the materials here, assembly, the understanding of hydraulic power and how it works, the steps, and then we've got some fun facts, warnings on the back. So get that part done. Then we've got these wooden pieces here. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking these wooden pieces out of their frames. Alright guys, so now that I've just taken all of the wooden pieces out of the frames, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab this piece here with these two pieces, just like this. So this is the first step. We'll leave that to the side now, and what we're going to do is we're going to grab these two pieces here and connect them. We might as well do them for both, because we'll need to. And then we're going to grab another one of them and start connecting them together like this. So it should just look like this so far. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab these two pieces here, as well as this piece and this piece here. And we're going to connect them together, essentially. So we're going to grab them, put them like this. So it should just look like this so far. And what we're going to want to do is screw these in straight away. So I'm just going to do that now. Alright guys, so for the next step, what we're going to want to do is grab our syringe here, and we're going to put these two hand parts inside these slits. So we're going to do that. What we're going to do now is we're going to use the zip ties to lock them in place. So we'll be locking them in place just around the top end here, as shown on the instructions. Once it's tied up like this, next what we're going to want to do is zip tie the other one. Awesome. And we will be cutting these zip ties later. So I'll leave that to the side. For the next step, alright guys, so next what we're going to want to do is grab these syringes. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be filling them up with water, and then we're going to be pushing the water throughout the whole system of the pipe here. So once that happens, we will be able to attach it to the excavator, and that should be the perfect amount of water to help cause enough pressure to control the system. So that's what I'm going to do now. Hey guys, so I just filled these up with water. So what I did was I pulled this plug out, and then I filled it up with water till it was coming out the other end. And then once that happened, I put both ends up so that no water could escape. And then what I did is I plunged the end part of the syringe in the back, and then I pushed any air that entered whilst I did that out the other end. And then I've pushed it to around 8 mils. You can do even less, you can even do 6, because the secondary syringe here is a lot smaller, as it only has around 3 mils of space. Because of this, we are able to have lots of flexibility with how much water we can have. So for the next step, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to place the syringe on the other end, connecting it to the smaller syringe here. We're going to just push that through. Make sure that this syringe is pushed all the way in as well, so you're reducing as much air that got in as possible, as water is a stronger controller rather than air. See how I have a little bit here? I'm just pushing this ever so closely, that way I'm not getting as much air as possible. Awesome. So now it should just look like this. I've done it for both parts. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to start trying to connect these syringes to the actual base here. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to connect this one with the L shape facing up. So So we're going to put it in like so, push it down here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pop in this axle here. Once we've done that, we can close off both sides of the axle with these space wedges. Alright, awesome. So once you've done it like that, what we need to do is we need to do the second one here as well. So guys, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to grab these pieces here, not the one here that we built, this one here, these two separate pieces, and we're going to put them on the outside here of the top area. And we're going to put in our syringe on the inside and these arms on the outside. This will be used very shortly. Once you've done that, you're going to want to seal it with the space wedges on both sides. Awesome. So it should just look like this. And we're going to be connecting it up here. So now next what we need to do is connect these pieces to the syringe. So what we're going to do is we're going to place it on the syringe like so, on one side like that, and then we'll get a second one and do it on the other side. And what we're going to do is we're going to screw them together. Alright guys, so once we've finished these pieces here, now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to start connecting these arms here to this piece here. So we're going to grab another one of these axles, two of these space wedges, and we're just going to push it through the middle here, like so. Now I'm having some trouble now because of the actual zip tie is in the way. So now I'm just going to be right back and cut that. Awesome, so I just cut those off. So now we're going to get back to this. Now we're going to put the wedges on the outside again, so down here though. And now once that is completed, we're going to also just give it a little bit more space so it doesn't get in the way of the zip tie of that box here. So now let's get to the next step, which is going to be to attach this piece here onto here. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab this piece here. Once we've done that, we're going to put this space wedger on, do it on both sides. And once we've got it like that, what we're going to want to do is move it up and connect it. So we're going to get the last axle here. And it should just look like this. So once we've done that, we're going to leave this to the side, and now we're going to start doing the scooper for the excavator. So we've got these last pieces here. What we're going to do is we're going to put this chomper on this sharp triangle end here, just like this, and then we're just going to connect all of them. Should just be this back one here for this one with the holes, and then these two identical ones go in the middle. Awesome. Once we've done that, now what we're going to do is we're just going to screw these in so it stays solid and never falls apart. Awesome, and now that we've completed the last piece to the puzzle, we're going to just slide it up here and we're going to connect it just like this. Awesome, so now we've got the whole setup finished. So now let's go to the reason why we use water for the hydraulics. First of all, the reason we use water in here instead of air is because water has a higher density than air. Once you press air together, it can squeeze a lot, and that means once we push something like this with water, it's immediate because it has a higher density. But with air, it means we have less control with pushing this water through, because the air can just push itself into a higher density without moving anything. However, water, it needs to go somewhere, so it pushes and it goes the other way. So now that we've finished this, what we're going to do is we're going to start putting on these foam feet. These are pretty essential, considering once you push the water hydraulic pumps around it a lot, it can tend to move, especially on smooth surfaces. So I highly recommend putting these on at the end. Awesome. So now that I've done that, what we're going to do is get onto a side view and I'm going to show you how it looks. Alright guys, and without further ado, let's see how this thing works. So guys, that was Australian Geographic's Eco Workshop, the Hydraulic Excavator. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope the instructions help. Leave me a comment on how you think I went and what you want to see next. Give me a subscription and I hope I see you in the next video. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much.